It looked like Bria Hartley just got instant karma, bro. She out for the season. I'm here to tell you the most dirtiest player in the WNBA contract has been written, bro. And I'm here to tell you she's out for the season. Yes, you heard me correctly. Yeah, man, Bria Hartley. So Connecticut PR has released a statement. Bria Hartley is to miss the remainder of the season.
Did Bria Hartley just commit the dirtiest play of the WNBA season only to face instant karma herself? Fans are furious after Sophie Cunningham went down with a torn MCL in a collision that looked far from accidental. To make it worse, cameras caught Hartley smirking right after Sophie hit the floor, sparking outrage and fueling the belief it wasn't just bad luck. But then came the twist. Nobody expected. The very same player accused of the cheap shot is now sidelined for the rest of the season too. The irony is hard to ignore. Was this pure coincidence, or did the basketball gods hand out some instant justice? If you're pulling for Sophie, drop a speedy recovery wish for her in the comments.
This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley with the sinister grin, right? This malevolent look that's on her face right now, clearly smiling after injuring Sophie Cunningham, man.
From the very start, the play didn't look clean. Sophie Cunningham absorbed the full force of the contact, crashed to the floor, and instantly grabbed her knee. She never even tried to rise. Trainers sprinted in, teammates huddled around her, and the entire arena shifted into silence. This wasn't the usual hard fall where a player bounces back after a few moments. Sophie's expression said it all. The pain was different, and everyone in the building could feel it.
Is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
But what truly set the conversation on fire wasn't just the injury, it was the image that surfaced seconds later. As Sophie lay on the hardwood, cameras zeroed in on Bria Hartley flashing what looked like a smirk. Call it a grin, call it a laugh, spin it however you want, but fans saw the same thing. A player appearing to relish the moment right after an opponent collapsed in pain. That single frame exploded across social media, and instantly the debate shifted. This wasn't only about the collision anymore, it was about intent.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. Scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
The accusation was straightforward. That's not how someone reacts if it's truly an accident. To fans, Hartley's smile spoke louder than any statement ever could. And once that photo started circulating, intent no longer mattered. The perception stuck. Even when Sophie herself tried to cool things down, admitting she was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, the fire didn't fade. The outrage only grew. Fans weren't convinced, because the image told a different story. They could accept basketball being physical. What they couldn't accept was a player looking like they enjoyed watching someone else get hurt.
Sophie Cunningham, let's be clear here. Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. But Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty, dirty player.
And this wasn't the first time Hartley had been under the microscope. That's why the backlash hit so hard. The smirk didn't land in a vacuum, it landed on a player already known for flare-ups and physical confrontations. So instead of being dismissed as a bad moment, the photo became Exhibit A in what fans saw as a pattern. Commentators quickly piled on, calling it the dirtiest play of the season. Headlines screamed outrage. Comment sections flooded with demands for accountability. And the referees? They faced their own wave of heat for swallowing the whistle. To fans, it wasn't just Hartley who failed Sophie that night, it was the league itself. A league that seems quicker to fine players for criticizing officials than to protect them from reckless contact.
Making all kind of excuses to say that Bria Hartley is not a dirty player. Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy for it. Don't sit here and try to tell me Bria Hartley is not a dirty player.
By the end of the week, The conversation had shifted far beyond one game. It was about credibility. Would the WNBA step in and make a statement, or let another moment slide? Either way, Hartley's smirk had already cemented her reputation in the eyes of fans. That single snapshot didn't just capture a reaction, it confirmed the story people already believed about her. And the disturbing part, this wasn't uncharted territory. The question quickly became, was Sophie Cunningham just the latest name on a growing list of players burned by Hartley's reckless style? Because while some tried to frame it as one unfortunate play, the receipts told a different story. They don't paint Hartley as a victim of circumstance. They paint her as someone who keeps showing up in the game's ugliest moments.
Atkins, 7 to shoot. Cardoso rolls, catch. Cardoso over the top, can't get it. Reese fights for the rebound and a foul, and this time gets a little chippy and a shove on Nelson Adota. And listen, this arena, typically we'll see some ringside fights.
Take the dust up with Angel Reese earlier in the year. That wasn't just physical post play, it crossed the line. Fans pointed out Hartley grabbing a fistful of Reese's hair in the middle of a rebound battle. You don't mistake a swipe for pulling braids, and Reese's furious reaction made it clear how blatant it looked. That clip spread quickly, and before the outrage cooled, Hartley was already tied to another flashpoint. Rebecca Allen was next on the receiving end of a shove that once again had fans calling her out. None of those incidents brought serious punishment, but when you stack them together, the picture becomes hard to ignore. To many, Sophie Cunningham wasn't an isolated case. She was just the latest in a growing list of players caught up in Bria Hartley's trail of low-light moments.
So Mike put this up about an hour ago. He said to all of those defending Bria Hartley, look at what she liked on Instagram. Emo, she's the dirtiest player in the league and should be kicked out. Most recently, Sophie Cunningham has been hurt with the knee tear and is out for the season. Look at this. Look at this. Now, Bria is the definition of consistency. Now, this is her liking this. This is her liking this post. Y'all see that? Breezy, 1414, and others. Bria is the definition. She's liking this post. Look at this. Death taxes and Bria Hartley always being at the scene of the crime. Now, that's her choke slamming Angel Reese.
ND, this was where everything finally boiled over. Fans weren't viewing these as isolated accidents anymore, they were seeing a pattern. And patterns changed the story. By the time Sophie hit the floor clutching her knee, Hartley's trail of incidents was already etched into the season. That history made it nearly impossible for anyone to believe the smirk was just an unfortunate look at the wrong moment. People remembered the Reese hair pull, the shove on Allen, and now a collision that sidelined one of Indiana's toughest players.
Indiana Fever fans wake up pissed off today. Pissed off. Not only are we getting assaulted, but they're smiling about it. This is the 6th time they've smiled, laughed, and cheered on our Indiana Fever players getting assaulted, getting injured. And it pisses me off.
The outrage only grew louder because officials looked blind to it all. Fans ripped referees for swallowing whistles on hard contact one night, then calling ticky-tack fouls the next. There was no standard, and that inconsistency fueled the belief that refs were complicit, letting Connecticut's physical play go unchecked while players like Sophie paid the price. What made it worse was the double standard. Sophie had already been fined earlier in the season for criticizing those same referees, while Hartley faced no consequences after a string of reckless plays. For many fans, that was impossible to ignore. Even Sophie's own family had enough. Her sister Lindsay and mother Paula publicly questioned why the league wasn't stepping in to protect its players. At that point, it wasn't just upset fans shouting into the void. It was Sophie's family putting the WNBA on blast, echoing the frustration Fever supporters had been feeling all along. And their message was clear: if the league refuses to act, players will keep getting hurt.
Maybe you should focus, her sister. Maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are capable to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. The only good thing positive surrounding Sophie Cunningham coming out of this game, she looked in good spirits in the locker room.
That's why talk of suspension started almost immediately online. Fans pointed to past cases where reckless plays brought discipline and demanded Hartley face the same. In their eyes, she was already locked into the dirty player box. The league looked corrupt, and Sophie had become the one sacrificed. But before the WNBA could even weigh in with a ruling, the story took an unexpected twist.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe this is Mama C. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. Looked out of control to me.
Fans were bracing for the league to drop some kind of punishment. Suspension talk was everywhere, and the outcry felt so loud that many assumed the WNBA would have no choice but to respond. But then, out of nowhere, the storyline flipped on its head. The Connecticut Sun announced that Bria Hartley wouldn't play another game this season not because of discipline, but because of a torn meniscus in her right knee that ended her year on the spot. The timing couldn't have been more uncanny.
It stated Connecticut Sun guard Bria Hartley will miss the remainder of the season due to a meniscus tear in her right knee. Injury sustained during team practice. You got hurt at practice? Hartley is expected to make a full recovery. So you mean to tell me her own team hurt her? Oh my God. Her own team hurt her? Oh man. Oh dog. This is funny as hell. I should laugh. But damn, dog. How your own team hurt you, bro? Hartley is expected to make a full recovery. Additional updates will be provided.